In this video, you'll learn how to set and crush your 2024 goals with the help of these 5 life buckets: mind, heart, body, soul, and wallet. I've used this exact same system for 2 or 3 years now, and it's yielded incredible results in my life. I've accomplished a lot, and that's not to brag, it's just to add credibility to this system. It works. So while you watch this video, I've also created a free Notion template. I don't need your email. I don't need any data from you. You can just go download this on Notion at freedomfiles.co/2024, and that URL is right below so you don't miss it. I've created a free template for you so you can set and crush your 2024 goals in each of these 5 areas. And before we begin, don't forget to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the Freedom Files YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any more videos just like this one. All right, the first life bucket, the mind. A lot of people think this one is the most important, and I tend to agree. Happiness really doesn't come from achieving goals. Happiness comes from your progress toward those goals. It's really a journey versus destination argument. You are happier when you're chasing your goals than you are when you achieve those goals and say, now what? So what does that mean? That means that life is all about learning new skills, challenging yourself, and experiencing new adventures, new things continuously. So under this mind bucket, we have both learning and new experiences and adventure as these sub areas. And in this learning area, this first learning area, I want you to think about how you can level up your life, how you can be a better person by this time next year. New skills rewire your brain and expand your opportunities and network. Just one example of a new skill that's completely changed my life over the last couple of years is learning Spanish. I now have access to 600 million more people than when I did just 2 years ago. I could not communicate with those people, and now I'm doing business in that language. So one of my goals for 2024 under this learning sub area is not hesitating to spend on myself. So whenever a new creator that I really admire, I'm really passionate about his content or her content, whenever they release a new course or coaching opportunity or anything like that, a new product, I won't hesitate to spend on myself, on my skills in order to level up. Now this second adventure sub area of the mind. The joy of life comes from our encounters with new experiences. All of the success that I've had over the last 2 years, and I'm not super successful, but all of the things that I have done over the last 2 years, like buying international real estate, growing my business and starting a new one, making more money than I've ever had before, really successful relationship with someone who doesn't share my culture or language. All of that would have never happened had I not gotten out of my comfort zone and taken some calculated risks. And that's what New Adventure is all about. So in 2024, one of my goals in this sub area is to take a solo personal retreat for 5 to 7 days where I disconnect from technology, disconnect from reality, and just go inward all by myself in the woods, in the desert, and I'm not sure yet, but that is one of my goals for 2024. All right, moving on to the body bucket. This is the second of 5 life buckets. Without prioritizing my physical health, both my fitness and my diet, which are the 2 sub areas under this body life bucket, I find that I cannot perform mentally at the same clip as when I do focus on those things. So that is to say, taking care of my body is taking care of my mind and my performance. In the fitness sub area, really, you have to master the fundamentals before you reach harder and harder challenges. The bare basics, you gotta sweat daily. That's the bare minimum. You have to sweat daily. If you're not doing that, do that right now. And like me, I'm a little bit past that. So my goals for 2024 include getting my resting heart rate down to about 40 beats per minute and experimenting more with my body. And what I mean by that is taking different supplements, trying out nootropics, just trying to tinker more with my physical health so that I can find what works for me and what doesn't. And now in this diet sub area, your body is a temple, right? But you have to treat it like a lab. The more that you experiment and tinker with what you put in it, the more you'll learn what works for you. Just like what I was talking about, nootropics and supplements, the more that you try out new diets, carnivore, keto, paleo, vegetarian, vegan, although not a fan of those, the more you learn about the environment in which your body performs the best. In 2024, I have a few goals in this diet sub area, but 2 that I'm really focused on are fasting for at least 36 hours twice a month and trying out a carnivore diet, which I've heard just amazing results about. I want to try it for myself. And if you're lacking any ideas in either this fitness or diet sub area under this body bucket, check out the Blueprint Protocol by Brian Johnson. When we talk about treating your body like a lab, this guy puts it to practice. And although I don't agree with everything he does, we can learn a lot. All right, the heart, our 3rd out of 5 life buckets. Essentially, this is all about relationships. In 2021 and 2022, I left the United States. And in the process of growing my business when I left the United States, I went really deep into monk mode. And for that reason, cut off a lot of my social life and relationships that I had built up to that time. That I regret. And I learned over that process that relationships are so important, especially to a young male. I need young male friends around me. So in 2023, I set some big goals to reconnect with people around me. I made a video about this actually, on how to eradicate loneliness from your life. You can check that out right there. And I know it can be weird and difficult to set goals around relationships because they are so nebulous, but we'll try our best. We'll break this down into 3 buckets, 1 being significant other, 2 being family, and 3 being friends. The 3 relationships that we really want to focus on, the sub areas underneath this body life bucket. So let's start with significant other. My MO here is not to get complacent. You don't want a relationship where things just get monotonous and boring, because that's when things start to fall apart. Continuous improvement and excitement keeps your relationship alive. Spontaneity is the truth. A few goals that I have for my relationship with my girlfriend are weekly date nights and 4 non-work related trips with her. All right, moving on to the family sub area underneath this heart life bucket. This one's a little bit depressing. Look at this graph, and you'll notice that our time that we spend with our parents continuously decreases ever since we turn 18, especially in the West when we leave home and go to college, start working. We don't spend any time with our parents compared to other cultures, and I've learned that here in Latin America. I love my parents, but I also live halfway across the world from them. My mom lives in the United States, and my dad splits time between Europe and Southeast Asia, while I'm here in Latin America. So while it's really difficult for us to spend really quality time together, we talk a lot, and my goals for 2024 are to spend a few dedicated trips with each of them more often. All right, the third of these 3 sub areas underneath the heart life bucket is your friends, your network. And while it might seem a little weird to create goals around your relationships with your friends and the guys, it's necessary, and it takes initiative. Because if you never plan things with your friends, or you never plan things to meet new people, things just don't happen. So in 2024, I am planning on creating an in-person mastermind here in Medellin for young entrepreneurs like me, and also trying to grow my network a little bit more intentionally by reaching out to people instead of waiting for them to reach out to me. Also, reminder, hit that like button and subscribe to the Freedom Files YouTube channel so you don't miss videos like this. And down below, freedomfiles.co/2024, I created a free Notion template. I don't need your email or anything, so that you can crush your 2024 goals. All right, the wallet life bucket. And this is probably what many of you have been waiting for. All this advice might be frou-frou if I didn't talk about a little bit of money. So let's dive into it. Underneath this wallet life bucket, you have 3 sub areas. That is your main source of income, your secondary source of income, and your wealth and investments. Underneath your main source of income, you either have your 9-to-5 job, which is less freedom on the freedom spectrum, or you own your own business, which is obviously more on that freedom spectrum. Somewhere in the middle, you might find like a closer type role where you're not a full-time employee, but you're an independent contractor, but you don't necessarily have an uncapped salary and or control your own schedule and time. And maybe exactly that, one of your 2024 goals might be to break free from those less free positions, a 9-to-5 job or not controlling your schedule, and own your business. That's a wonderful goal to have in 2024, and I have so many resources to help you do exactly that. My 2024 goals include, obviously I have an income goal that I want to achieve with my online business, but I also want to be a premier marketing firm in my niche and start using AI as much more of an employee. So learn AI a lot better and a lot more than I currently know it. All right, hopping over to the second sub area underneath this wallet life bucket, that is your secondary source of income. So if you only have one source of income, I would recommend that in 2024, you branch out and create this second one, unless that first one is owning your own business and that just takes up too much of your own time. I'm a huge fan of side hustles, and I actually encourage my employees to have one. If you currently work at 9-to-5, this could eventually turn into your main business and your main source of income. For me, my secondary source of income is this, the Freedom Files, where I document my story and my journey to ultimate freedom. So my 2024 goals around the Freedom Files is to continue growing this audience, but also to create digital products so I can help you become more free. I don't know what that's going to include in 2024, but I'm working on it. And finally, the third of these 3 sub areas underneath the wallet life bucket is wealth and investment. And by the way, this is not financial advice. This is never financial advice, but there's 3 ways to grow your wealth. 1 is reducing your expenses and taxes. 2 is growing your income or revenue if you own your own business. And 3 is to grow your investments. If you're letting your money sit idle in a checking account somewhere where you're getting 1 to 2%, maybe, you're losing out on a lot of money. Just investing it in the S&P 500 is pretty much guaranteed to get you 7 or 8% every single year. And that's completely passive. I prefer a more aggressive strategy, especially because I'm only 27 years old, and that includes investing in real estate and Bitcoin. All right, moving on to my favorite, the last of the 5 buckets, and that is soul. And by the way, if my goals for spirituality and personal freedom don't match yours, then so be it. This is what it's all about. Creating your own image, your own vision, and making it a reality. All right, first we have the spirituality sub-area underneath the life bucket of soul. Nihilism to me is easy. That's the easy way out, not believing in anything and thinking everything is due. To me, optimism is belief, and belief is optimism. I wasn't raised in a spiritual household, in a religious household, but I want to explore. All right, on to this second sub-area, personal freedom. Ultimate freedom just doesn't happen to you. You have to go out and build it. Ultimate freedom is a combination of location independence, financial freedom, and time freedom, controlling your own schedule. So I'd encourage you to think about how, by this time next year, are you going to be freer? How are you going to be freer? In this video about building your own nationality stack, we talk about what a new bank account, new residency, new passport, new business allows you to do. It's diversifying and minimizing your exposure to one government or one company. So my 2024 goals include building a 3rd residency and investing in more international bank accounts to diversify my funds. So this year, instead of creating and tackling New Year's resolutions, focus on these 5 life areas of mind, heart, body, soul, and wallet. It's worked for me, and I really hope it works for you. But to make this even easier for you, I built a free, again, I don't need your email or anything, Notion template that you can download at freedomfiles.co/2024. Hit like on this video, subscribe to the Freedom Files YouTube channel, and leave a comment down below. What is your biggest 2024 goal?